Hey, welcome to Common Hood. This your host, Simon P. As always, the OG Calvin. But today I'm going to let this lady introduce herself. This is her second time visiting the podcast over here, Anu Naku. Elaborate on that name meaning and tell us a little bit about you before we get into the show, sweetie.
All right. Well, thank you for that. My name is Anu Naku, Ayola. It means honor the bones. It was a given name from my ancestors to support me on a specific leg of my journey. It's not my given name, but it is the name that I use to walk through the earth. Ayola was a chief of a Seminole who was a warrior. And so it's an honor to be here in Seminole country. You know,
It's Gator country over here.
a little Seminole for me. I'm not in Sophia. I'm not in all that. But however, I'm just so grateful. Look, I'm like, yeah. I'm so honored to be here. Thank you for having me.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, last time we talked, you said, what's the mind of God? And I was like, no, we're going to stick with the mind of God. We're going to stick with the mind of God.
Okay.
We're going to stick with the mind of God.
Okay.
So, you know, when I thought of the mind of God, everybody in the West, in the United States, we refer to the Holy Bible. We got the Holy Choir. Which one of the two that people decide to choose? But I'm looking at it for as a Christian part of it. I'm like, the old adage of it is, I think it's been around about 40 scholars, correct?
Possibly.
40 authors wrote the Bible, right? Over 1,600 years ago, but they say the Sphinx was like 18,000 years, and the pyramid was like
very much superseded that. Yeah.
Yeah. So you know, it brought me the question of that, and I also thought about like there is no way small old me, small old you, could have that vast amount of knowledge and wisdom compared to the whole highly, but we all trying to aim down.
Ashe.
I say. Let's stop. Just tell us what I say mean for some of us that don't.
Oh my goodness. Okay.
So you gotta say it.
Ashe, in the way that we use it as it is commonly used, is kind of like an agreement. Like Ashe, amen. And so it is, you know.
So like amen. I was getting ready to say that.
It can be that. But Ashe is also the spirit of, it's the magic, it's the mystery, it's the energy of so many beings and all types of different things that enter into the body, you know, when people are going through specific initiations. And it's also how you present yourself. It precedes you, your Ashe. Your Ashe can go out into the world and people can hear about you and know about you just according to the Ashe of your ancestors, or, you know, the lineage you come through in Dagara. It might be the cosmology you come from. You know, it could be tied into the astrology. But all of these things, you know, make up, you know, who you are according to the people or the energies that are put into the Ashe that is put into your body.
So basically an agreement.
A very strong one. Like you're representing everything that you are agreeing for right now. If you're agreeing with what this person said, it's like everything and everybody in your whole existence is saying, okay.
Well, I'm gonna say it. I say. I'm gonna say it. I say. But getting back to the mind of God, because I like the way Anu Naku was trying to present to us. Like, there's a mentor, there's a pupil. But before we get to them, the responsibility of us elders or our OGs or this gray hair is you supposed to have a little closeness of the mind of God. Don't you feel that way when you take on that role of being a mentor? Even though I'm still wondering about the mind of God, like, really?
That's a good question. So I think that the fact of gray hair and things like that doesn't necessarily qualify you. But okay, let's go there. Let's say an elder is an elder, somebody who's up there in age, who's lived a lot of experience. But literally mentorship in village type of cultures and indigenous traditions could be an elder or somebody definitely older than the pupil, than the one that's seeking or needing or desiring mentorship, really needing validation, affirmation, you know, safety to grow. But in that, I think It just, you have to really resonate energetically. And the maturity is recognizing that you would see that role in that child immediately, that I need to be there for this child. I can tell, I recognize my youth in this, you know, and it can be an adult looking for another adult who holds the experiences, because mentorship is not just for youth. If we're humble.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So
I agree with that 100%. Yeah.
Basically, when the pupil is ready to, in this case, the mentor or the OG, the person of wise, supposed to show up
right on
when that pupil ready to receive.
Like imagine, and we will get back to the mind of God, but this is going to take us a little further away from it. Imagine a child who is really troubled in the community. You know what I mean? Robbing in people's houses, breaking in this, beating up on his mama, doing all these things, right? The first thing people want to do is call the police. Nobody really wants to intervene.
Right.
But somebody in that community knows exactly, that is a familiar habit, pattern. They've done something like that, you know, so that child, you know, is really calling out for their mentor. Like, I know somebody in this community has been through what I've been through. Stop playing with me. But who's really going to take the time?
I get it.
And say, you know, okay, you know what? Let me deal with this.
Right.
Well, I heard you mention village. And I'm thinking of, when we hear the word mentor, we think of how that is a pay for service.
Well, yeah.
A coach, pay for service.
Yeah.
Consultant, pay for service. And automatically when you pay, is this a temporary fix?
It was expressed in the book, you know, or where is the value? Is the value beyond that dollar, or is the value in that dollar? Is the value really you? Because
it's the value in the dollar. That's where it's at. If you got to pay for services for somebody to be your mentor, the value is in the dollar. There's no spiritual attachment there.
Okay, so but I'm gonna challenge that. But what if some people need to put value to things? You know what I mean? Because people take it for granted.
Right.
You know?
I get that.
Yeah. And this could be your livelihood. Right. Or this could be your means to.
I get that part.
Now, when you say it's going to be your livelihood, should you take on that role? Because we're talking about having people get to the mind of God. So getting to the mind of God, wasn't that required to having people find the best version of themselves?
Well, absolutely. But usually if people are seeking you, like you said, well, I was going to say that what you're seeking is seeking you. If that's the case, then that's a given. You know, they are seeking for themselves. They see themselves in you. You know what I mean? And so the value comes with really presence. And if I value my presence in my time, then I may say, you know, I can do this with you, but it's going to cost this much or that much. And in back to the mind of God, I trust what I hear.
Right.
You know, I trust that operation. You know, I trust that my mind is an aspect of the mind of God. You know, if I'm intentional about that divinity of that connection, you know, if I'm clear on keeping my the channels where all those can come in, my chakras and stuff aligned and balanced.
Tell us what chakra means, because some of us think of Chaka Khan. No, it's not. So tell us what chakra.
I'll let you explain that, brother.
You go for it. We get a order.
I was gonna say,
okay. Tell us what chakra
is your spiritual essence. It's an opening portal that you can get more inclined and more in line with the power above, which is God.
Absolutely.
And that's what the chakra is.
And there are more than 7, but we focus on the 7 because, you know, we function from that. I don't think we really function from a lot, you know, of the other chakras, but we do, but unawareingly. And so, you know, I think if we can focus on the 7, maybe we can keep it balanced. But chakras are what's called wheels of energy that need to be cared for, cleansed, imbalanced, balanced. They can fall in balance and they need to be balanced, like, you know, depending on your environment, your health, wellness, and things like that, which is subjugated to. It could be your lineage, you know, it could be the things that you came in from your ancestors, you know. So a lot of, that's what chakras are.
But, you know, I heard you say God, And I heard you say that, hey, your time is valuable, and everybody have the potential to get that essence of God is in them. And I cold-heartedly believe that a mentor and an elder may have to commoditize, not be looked at as commodity, and say my time is valuable, because if I come to you just straight up, you don't know if I'm serious about trying to get in tune with me.
This is true.
So money does help.
I get it.
Make you get to the chase. Like, are you seriously you want to be? You serious about finding this? Because I really,
I'm very funny.
because you serious because at the end of the day, what I'm giving you, you can't seek it, because when you're passionate about who you are, you should be seeking the answers for your life.
Absolutely. And it depends on the level.
So some people could say they have a lot of emotional, biological trauma that prevent them from not loving themselves, and they got to go around the circle where they need that OG in the community or that mentor just to help bring them back in. And at some point, they'll know when to cut that payment off.
Yeah.
They'll know when to cut that payment off.
It's true. And I also know as well, like,
Right.
I remember walking in the community one day and I heard, I say the Most High say to me, you're going to be like a doctor on call. And one thing about certain levels of mentorship, certain things about staying in connection with divinity, the way that that you're called to walk it, in discipline and sacrificially. It's like, that's a real thing. It doesn't stop. It doesn't stop. The thought about someone when they shared and opened their soul and spirit up, saying, okay, I'm wounded. So literally they're going to open their spirit up to you. Their souls are open, and yours has to open too, because spirit is reciprocity. Right. Anybody that can listen to somebody's stuff with a closed soul, and it happens. And it happens.
All the time.
And it happens. I'm going to take your little bit, and I'm just, it don't mean nothing to me.
Right.
It don't mean nothing, because I can't get in there with you like that.
Right.
It happens. Maybe in that moment, that's the mind of the God of their understanding. See, the mind of God is it's broad context, but it says that only the Spirit of God knows.
Well,
the mind of God.
I love that, what you just said about that, because a lot of people no one knows the mind of God, man.
It's absolutely. I agree with you in that.
Knows this. I mean, God is so. I mean, you can't even put
well, God is limiting in itself. Yeah.
But
you can't.
Let me sum it up like this right here. Like you say you major in theology.
Right.
So the prefix of theology is God.
Yeah.
And ology means the study of God.
Right.
So there's no way to study of God. And this is going to bring me into, and I'm just going to read this here about the pineal gland. I'm just going to read this right. No, it's there it is, but does it answer that question? Like, if I come to this sister here, she is saying, I'm helping find this God within you. Because it's something that's blocking me from getting that to pineal.
But don't despise the God in me while I get you there, brother.
Don't despise, but it take a lot.
Who do you think you are?
But it said when you say
trying to help.
Yeah, when you say somebody have to open up those wounds, and then you have to be that really active listener to not let your judgment zone, because we kind
brother, in that moment you are more than an active listener.
Right.
You become responsible.
Right. Yeah, responsible. So
whether it's listening, sitting on the floor, laying up, like whatever it requires. Yeah.
So on the pineal gland, here's what it says. Now they say it comes from the Hinduism and the Buddhism, but I ain't gonna go all down where it comes from. But it say AKA, meaning sometimes it's known as your third eye, your seat of soul, or your soul of consciousness. That's deep. Now the shape of it's supposed to be in the middle of your brain here, cutting that part right there somewhere. They say it's shaped like a cone, but what gets me? They say it's third eye. You can do your own research. Just like your eye, your physical eye that you use to see, it says this small shape like pineapple has a lens, a retina, and a corona. but it plays a major role in our DNA system. It maintains the body's circadian. On that circadian, let Anu Naku read that circadian rhythm, what it all mean right quick, like that activity.
A circadian rhythm is the body's natural 24-hour cycle of physical, mental, and behavioral changes, often called the body clock. It is primarily regulated by a master clock in the brain that responds to light and dark cues, influencing sleep-wake cycles. Okay, we're going to stop right there because that is the awakening moment. Brother talked about third eye being open. You know, it's, and it has a lot to do with the cycles of the seasons, winding the clock forward. It gets dark, you know, you have longer days. When you have shorter, you know what I mean? That is all so tied in with our spirituality as well. You know, shadow aspects, light aspects, how we perceive, you know, light, how we perceive darkness, how we perceive what's common and how we perceive what's holy. How we determine what's good, what's negative, what's bad is all according to the levels of how asleep we are. It's patterns, you know. And I did this study a long time ago, and I like you, it took me so deep. I was like, oh, wow, this is connected to everything that is connected to everything that is connected to everything that is connected to everything. But how you interpret it, how it's interpreted, speaks to everything. It speaks volumes.
Yeah, when I saw the word circadian, you know, what's left off is it talked about dreams. It talked about your like intuition and your memory. And we always have that kind of third eye moment. When they tell you to don't do that, and you said, hey, something told me not to do that. You had already answered yourself. He had already answered it. So the awakening and the tapping into that that's my view on tapping into the mind of God. He's already given it to me, but the distractions along birth and entering this world of judgment zone and rules and laws and dysfunctionalities in the community and the society, all that stuff took me away from concentrating and developing and tapping into that third eye.
I think that for me, it's like I'm more in tune with God when I'm asleep.
Interesting. And when he said that dreams and all that, I was like, okay.
That's reality to me because I'm more in tune with God. If you're that close to God. See, when you go to sleep, you're in a catastrophic state. That means your spirit man is alive then. All the different things in this world is blocked out. It means that you have none of this stuff around you, which means you're getting closer to God that way. And so for me, I go to sleep with manifestation in my ears every night. Okay, and I wake up with manifestation in my life because I believe in that. So when Jesus Christ came to this world, and a lot of people say certain things about Jesus, but when he came to this world, he wanted to show you that you speak things into existence. He showed you how to walk in this world. He showed you who you were in this world. And he showed the disciples all the time. He said, how much longer I must be with, basically, for the paraphrase, how much longer I must be with you idiots?
We just go get it. No, seriously. I paraphrase it too, brother, too. I'm like, I can see him being like,
idiots. But you can see who you truly are. You know, so I look at these things, I'm like, man, he showed everything. He spoke to the fig tree that died. He spoke to Lazarus.
Let me tell you something. It's true. No, I'm not going to let you finish, but yeah, it's real.
It's real. It's definitely real. And I believe in manifestation so wholeheartedly because I see it every day. If I manifest it at nighttime, I wake up in the morning time, it's here. It's right here in front of me. If I manifest abundance and wealth, it's here. I walk out and I'm getting it just like that. If I manifest health in my life, it's there. It's there. He said you to speak over your life and things should come to pass, right? Which means that we don't understand you're closer to God when you're asleep. And remember in the scripture, I know you know the scripture, when he said Tabitha, she just asleep.
Yeah.
Yep. Tabitha rise.
Yep.
It means that she was asleep.
Right.
Which means
was that Talitha Kumi?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. And he said, you just don't understand. She's just close to God right now, but she's asleep. Right. You know? And he said, sleeping in faith. Right. I mean, you know what I'm saying? So I look at these things and I'm learning how to tap into who I truly am. You know, so it's real. It's definitely real.
Yeah.
Definitely real.
And I would have to say, even if not in sleep, in a waking state, it requires a lot of solitude. Yeah. There is a level of separation. There's definitely a level of separation in things that almost is grievous. It is. And it
You're right about that. You're right.
It is. Man. Like
I guess we time.
Now to start spitting, but yeah.
Yeah, but I guess we time to sleep in, the importance of the meditation, the importance of fasting. All of these things get you there. It's like when you fast, they say after 3 or 4 days, the body kind of naturally
Regenerates itself.
and start going in, getting rid of stuff and just reset.
Yeah, but hence the third day of resurrection. You know, it was the same thing. You know, well, 3 is the magic number.
And 3 means complete, correct?
No.
What's it is?
I thought
Seven
I
is
say 9.
You say 9?
I do.
What did the meaning of 3?
3 is more of a creative cycle. To me, 3 is Trinity.
Yep.
Okay, so if I had to say it in my own words, Simon, because I know what Google says and I know what everything says, what I feel like is 3 is the infinite possibility and 4 is the anchor in the foundation of that infinite possibility.
Okay, I thought it was 7 was completion and 8 is to be restarting all over.
You know, it's changed because 7 used to be perfection.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
so listen, I'm creating. I'm like, you know what? Y'all can have all of that.
All these different things, different numbers, and different sequences.
But it's vibration.
Yeah, vibration.
And it's still, depending on how you're yielding it, it's going to create what you say it'll create. And that's the thing I think we need to also recognize with this time frame with the mind of God and it really being the people of God or the holy race of beings right now or the chosen ones or the golden ones or the shining ones, as I like to call them, you know, in it being our time, you know, to have the mind of God is like the brother said, it is so vast. We will never understand it in this lifetime. But what I will say is play with it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what is it? You know, and hopefully for the highest good of the whole and everybody surrounded by you. But I think people have been tapping into the mind of God for a long time. But I also wouldn't want to negate the scripture that says, blessed are the pure in heart.
Yeah.
Because why?
I'll go there.
Because they will see God.
Yep.
I don't need nobody to recognize me outside of my heart. I'm clearing it. And at that point, that's how we will know each other. We will know each other by our love.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And it won't be my description or my experience. It's just a knowing. It supersedes belief. Mm-hmm. So when it says the mind of God is the spirit of God, that's it. Like spirit of truth in all things, you know, spirit of liberty and freedom, which is attached to the spirit of truth. And just really like always being mindful that the mind is always in a renewing and transformative state. Like it can be all the time. Mm-hmm. It really can be. And so the mind of God to me is one recognize myself as a spirit being, one that channels that essence from the cosmos, rooted in something bigger than myself in the earth. You know what I mean? And then everything that flows in between to me looks like this key. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And it's just life force energy continuing to flow in. And in that, just waking up, just making the choices, trusting myself, gravitating towards the things that I feel called to and not with things that I don't, to me is operating out of the best of the mind of God that I can, just continually to dive deeper into myself and the natural world. Not so much other people, because those two help me understand to overstand others better, you know?
I get it.
And then my elders and then my ancestors. So, you know, order in everything because, you know, the mind of God, the universal mind, all is mind is in the order of the 7 hermetic principles, which are the 7 universal truths. Once again, created by something, sound, breath, to become enough of a belief or knowing for those who have tested it and tried it. Mm-hmm. Done the science experiment, it becomes a knowing. Up until then, you hear about it. I believe that, you know, it makes sense. But even that whole concept, everything in order, you know, your mind, you know, your spoken words, your voice, you know, your heart, like the chakras, going in that order. And so, you know, when we talk about the mind of God, you know, by the spirit, who's to really say? It sounds good. It sounds good.
Well,
you know, it sounds.
Everybody wants to say everybody, not everybody, but most of the time, like I say in the churches now, they say, "Well, God says." Well, God says. God said. They go from the biblical principle of the Bible, right? And the biblical principle of the Bible was written by man. I get it, and as it was spiritual enlightenment to them to write the words on the Bible.
Took them 1,600 years to write it.
And my thing is, you can't get close to God. The only way you get close to God is through yourself. The people can teach you all day long from the pulpit. They can try to show you certain ways to get close to God. But it's with you and God. You got to commune with him. You got to be able to understand you and him together. That's what Jesus Christ said. He said, I and my Father are one.
Nice.
He said, I'm one. He said, and so if you know I am my Father one, that is actually he created you just like him too. So you and the Father are one, right? So I go back on this because it makes me feel a certain type of way. When Peter walks on water, you remember that? When he walked on water, Jesus Christ walked on water and Peter did it. Next thing you know, he went on down, because he didn't believe in the God in him to be able to do such a thing. So I believe in that. I believe in that wholeheartedly to where I know for a fact that we are gods in this world and God has created us just like him. Not that we him, but he gave us the essence of him and said, hey, look, you're like me. I created you. I love you that much. I created you just like me. Just like me. You'd be able to, he said, you can do greater things than I've done.
Well, you know what? Yep.
He said that.
Yep. And Yeshua was really good with his own company. And I find that I'd have to, in my beliefs, more than I would say about spending time with God, to know God, I think it's learning to be with yourself and what comes with that. Like who do you become when you're with yourself? What comes out of you when you're with yourself? And I think about that even as children, watching children play. You can see a lot about, whether they're banging cars together or whether they're just, circles on the floor in their socks. Like, who are you in your own company is pretty much beginning of the creation of God.
He had to get along.
But okay.
Go ahead. You know what I'm talking about. Go ahead.
No. I want to touch on something. And I have to, being a feminine, being a female, a matriarch. And right now our real issues with everything that's out of order is the patriarchy that's had a time to do some things. And now it's over, now it's like, okay, you've had it. You're done. Right. And they don't want to go willingly, they're like, nope. And so, but God as he.
Yes.
Talk to me. No, nope. You know what?
God
Please,
has-
God,
wait a minute. You say God
is he in everything, because like ain't nothing proven yet that he's produced a he or a she. And so my thing is, because I know that because the higher up you get in the spirit realms, there is no gender. Gender was kind of like for this density, for this playing field, for this earth school, it'll make sense to send, two of something, in like a negative and a positive charge.
Let me ask you this, man.
I was going to go there with you.
Before y'all go there, we talking about the origin of things, right? We're talking about the origin of things, right?
We can try because
we can, and that's what we're doing.
Let's try how far we can go.
So when we say God, what do you say to those people out there that says that come to that realization that nobody really knows that there is a God? We already reached a conclusion that there is because we don't know the origin of nothing. We don't. You don't know how the moon got there. You don't know how the stars got there. You don't know how to get. You can't go over the Big Bang Theory. It's like it's a study that's to no avail.
Every study is totally different. You have the Big Bang Theory, and you have the biblical theory. You have all different kind of theories, but these two theories are the most popular, which is the Big Bang Theory and the biblical theories that God created and spoke everything to exist in the Big Bang Theory, that everything came out of the blast. And if you really think about it, both of them go hand in hand. They both right. I'm going to tell you why.
Oh, please say it.
It's God spoke. If God spoke, God now, if he spoke, it's a blast, right? It's a blast.
Okay.
And so, and you got this thing over here, say Big Bang Theory, that everything, boom, is right there. If God spoke, it's a blast of light. It's a blast. So that's the way I believe. God spoke it. You guys believe there was a Big Bang Theory. God spoke it, yes. Both of them go hand in hand to me. I mean, basically, that's what I see. Boom, bam, there you go.
Okay, you know what I'm hearing, brother? Like, it's interesting because I don't think it was so much, like, what does it take to get into the atmosphere? Okay? You can't just come
the atmosphere of God.
No, well, or maybe the atmosphere of the womb of Nui. Like, let's think about it, right?
What's the womb of Nui?
The nighttime sky, the universe, the whole entire universe, right, is considered Nui. And in Egyptian cosmology. Now imagine you have intelligent beings. You have a whole thing happening. We think this is it. And this was like what experiment number, like, you know, so you know what I mean? We're just really grateful to be here right now. You know, like, I mean, I'm excited. You know, like, I'm not coming back. You know, but this is it. I'm with Tina Marie. But however, like, anything coming into our atmosphere would have to come in with an impact. It has to go through some shifts and changes if it can make it through. It's so deep because it's almost like that's the process of elimination. Right. You know, we all come in consciousness like Christ did. Christ is a conscious, was a star seed, someone that did come from interstellar, interdimensional realms, which is still happening on some levels when you hear about comets or asteroids. Right. Those are like literally interventions on a whole, like, you know, people are looking for God to do, you know, Yeshua to crack the sky and come through. Those type of cataclysmic events could happen and bring another level of consciousness in. That might not be the second coming of Christ. That might be a whole nother movement that says, let me come down here and help these people like we've done it before. And you're here to do the same thing, and you're here to do the same thing. And we all come from tribes, that come from systems, that come from cosmologies even. Like, what is your cosmology in the Dagara? What was yours with your last number of your birth year? What was that?
70.
Okay, so he's Earth. So basically, he's foundational.
0, rather?
Yes.
Is the last number in there?
So there are technologies in the indigenous traditions that support so much of who we are. And until we stop rejecting them, you know, because that is still rejecting aspects of ourselves, our existence. You know, we're living under somebody else's existence and rule, and that's exactly what Yeshua came to say, don't do.
Don't do it.
Be your own person. You don't have to follow me.
100%.
Be you, because let me tell you.
100%.
But when you say be your own person, just get back to the mentor and the student thing.
Man,
just think about it. Just think about it.
Yeah.
Just think about it. When you saying be your own self, and you have these terms established as I'm gonna be a mentor, salesperson, a product-driven type person,
right?
Which is not supposed to be,
right?
What's the distraction for us to not realize that we can be our own selves? Like, there's not just hate in the world. There's a lot of hate just within. It's just like, if I want to date you, I can't come to you looking for you to show me love. I should already kind of know that somewhat. I should already not have you to fix me so much. I should have to love myself, because it's going to be some things that I got to learn how to love myself, which makes it easier to grow as in a relationship.
And I can fix you, Simon, if you need.
I believe you can fix it. I believe you can fix it.
That's on a time frame. Okay, 20 minutes. Fix it out.
But he just answered his own question, though. You just answer your own question.
Let's talk about it.
You have to learn to love yourself before you.
But even how do you? Okay, brother, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Anu Naku, love yourself. Okay, what does that look like? What do I do? Show me.
How do you love yourself?
Do I gotta accept Jesus Christ as my Lord and Savior to love myself?
I'm saying that.
Okay, so how do I love
You have to
myself?
learn who you truly are.
And how do I begin?
How do you begin?
How do I begin?
That's a question you got to answer for yourself, because I really don't know, to be honest with you. But we have to learn how to love ourselves, and the way to do that is, I believe that everything in life, you got to learn from.
I got an answer for that.
What's it?
It goes back to what we talked about before. If you got to quiet your mind to get in tune with yourself, all of this stuff with quieting your mind and going to sleep, having this meditation, it's to take you out of your physical body to that spiritual realm that you're trying to get into.
And see,
that's how I enter on how to get to that point of loving yourself. So when you quiet your mind, and you gather your thoughts, when I say thoughts are the mind, that if you can't eliminate the waste, if you can't eliminate the problems of what we're living in and learn how to really tap into that moment where you can have that outer experience, it's just like going out in the nature. Why do they tell you to go to the nature? Going out to the beach, most people find relaxation there. And guess what? It's two different places. You can trade each one of them. But they do the same thing for a person. It takes you and detox you from the realities of what we are living in, to give you that chance to sit down at that beach, whatever the ocean sound is, to help you get to that point where the comments of your mind, and then clarity starts to become. we don't do it enough is the answer. That's the answer, in my opinion. But I hear what you got to say.
No, I love it. I love each piece because it's the Trinity. It's the three again. Because I've walked with people. My specific services are different. You know, they go to therapists, they go to counseling, and they come sit with me, and it's totally different because we, first of all, as animists, believe in the spirit of everything. People are coming to seek for something because they really don't know. Mm-hmm. They believe they don't know.
Right.
And the reason why they don't know is because they've never explored it. You know what I mean? They maybe sat in a question for 20 minutes and didn't know where to go with it, what to do with it, and they abandoned it. You know what I mean? And so then it just put it somewhere. And what I realized is to some degree, you do have to walk with people more, you know, because, brother, it almost reminds me of the children in the church questioning the pastors about God, and they really don't have the answers. Why don't you have the answer, pastor? And, you know, well, you're not supposed to question God.
Definitely.
But I'm not finished. I'm not quite finished.
I'm not going nowhere. I'm good.
But what I would say is yes, if you do hold the answers, you walk with them to that. But what I like to see with people, what I'm looking for,
if you hold it,
are you going to do your work? Because in the technologies that we work with, you know, we get prescriptions.
Beta blocker.
You got homework.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you can tell who's really ready to know thyself or go into that by what they're willing to commit to themselves first. Okay. I'll walk with you all day.
Right.
You know, I can give you the answers, but at some point I'm gonna have to pull back on even that and say, okay, well, what do you think?
Exactly.
Because it's really about building intuitive muscles in people till they recognize that they are tuned in. But sometimes that attunement needs just that. Mm-hmm. It needs an attunement, and your voice, your presence may be the very thing that brings them into an attunement.
Right.
You know, so when that, like that said, that what you're seeking is seeking you. Your teachers are there. It's just whether you can receive them, whether you can get over how they came.
Well, building that intuitive muscle is the mind, though. Are you correct? No. Building that intuitive muscle is the mind. So
they would say good, son.
Say it again.
They would say good, but
they would say good. I mean, that's the muscle.
I think it's anywhere it translates where if everybody's different.
Right. So at the end of the day, you know, you want to be a mentor. Some of us going to be students, but if you do become that person, as you said, you want to be able to walk with those. There are students that need that guidance. Just walk with them, and as the word would say, let your light shine. Right. Let your right shine. And as Anu Naku taught me this, I wrote this down here. A vessel to the community. She taught me that a while back.
Yeah.
And then she told me to read something. I was like, is that where she got it from? But either way, it was good. Either way, that was good. All right, we getting ready to sign out.
I think so.
You getting ready to sign out.
Brother, is there anything else you wanted to share in all your infinite wisdom on the mind of God or mentorship?
I think we covered a lot today, and I really, really, truly appreciate this right here, man. It's pretty good.
Ashe.
I love it.
Ashe. You know, what did it?
I told you the power of Anu Naku was coming. Yeah. But before we go, Anu Naku, I want you to tell people where you could be found at.
Okay.
Because if there's a level 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 on the level of mentorship, she might be at a 10. What happened? You get into that muscle.
Let me tell you something.
So go ahead, close us out here.
All we do is we do what Grandma did. You know, we hold space. We cook good. We hospitality.
Ooh, that lentil bean soup.
What I will say is, you know, we are all in a really beautiful time in this existence right now. I have to admit, like, this is a real exciting time to be here because you can feel the shifts. Yeah. You can feel that, you know, and there are a lot of forces that are working with us. And I think the most solid thing we can do is know where we're rooted, know our roots, you know, and taking them as deep as we can go. And I believe in the indigenous technologies of African traditional medicines and Aboriginal modalities. Let me use that word. It's Western, but for bringing people into alignment with their minds and their spirits and their hearts. And we are creating spaces for that to happen. And really all we're doing is just creating sanctuary because, you know, people need to know that they're okay, you know, safety. So with all of the things about the mind of God and things, I think that the mind of God is all encompassing. I think it's anywhere where there is sacred space. I think the mind of God can be present, right, where there's love, where there's joy, where there's truth, where there's trust, when there's vulnerability, transparency, light, lots of light, and a knowing, and to thine own self be true. And so what we do right now is we're moving out a little bit. We're going to get a little more rest right now, but we are building to begin to simultaneously work together in cooperation with my brother here, podcasting and building retreat spaces and just doing like big things. We're up to big things. The vision is real. It's big. And I just give thanks to my brother here. So you can reach me at the website. You can Google Sawajira Village or Sky Above. We're definitely making some changes. But we look to do ancestral work. We want to do deep ancestral root work. We want to go deep in and pull out some of those diseases and illnesses that are happening. And we want to support people in their creation because this is our time to create. Whatever hasn't been working, there's an opportunity to implement something that is working. For whatever is coming down, if you're ready to build up, it's ready for you. Like it's right now for especially melanated people. And so for us to be who we've always been, we look out, but at the same time, we're rebuilding the trust. Trust is the biggest breach that has happened here. And until that, because people can say love all day, but if I don't trust you, love is the energy, it's life force, it's going to happen. But trust is what we're building. And we have a journey. We have such a journey. We're coming out of slavery into servitude, and then from servitude will lead us into service. And that may lead us into solitude, or that may lead us into our nations that we're building. It depends on your ancestral curses or agreements and covenants from the past. It depends on the tribes that you come from. It could depend on, a lot of things, So I think
sisters, you got some teaching to do, sister.
Well, I want to do it with a lot of people too. I'm looking to collab with so many people, but you know what? Yes, I've been given some very special gifts, and I came to serve the Most High in service to humanity.
That's what's up.
And so thank you, brother, for your biblical, I'm not even gonna say Christian perspective, but just taking the Bible and really finding, extracting that there is good and there is positivity in it. You know what I mean? Because that's in anything. That's gonna be in everything.
I already know he gonna wake up in his dream and say, "When can Anu Naku come back?" Because he do love breaking that word down. He has his own thing. But before we get out of here, you mentioned the retreat. Just give us a little taste of the sauce.
For 2026, you're going to start opening the gates for retreats to come in, and people can also sit on the podcast and come to the land of Sawajira and enjoy a just down home retreat weekend, with Anu Naku. We're going to do the things, but we're going to trust spirit. And it, it takes form on its own. We could create a package, but I really believe in organic. So it may entail this, and we thought it was going to entail that, and different things like that. I do like to do one-on-ones, preferably in the beginning, but at some point, families can come and do family healing. Couples can come and do coupling retreats, and we can set up things. It's a whole thing, but that will begin in April 2026. 126, I should be beginning my podcast. So, and then we'll be looking to the amphitheater and just everything. Like we're building invisible bridges.
I love it. Visible bridges.
That's the podcast.
I love it.
And about Jesus walking on water, how do we know that was water? They told us it was water, but we are water. So, the possibilities of Jesus doing that, I can play with so many.
Me too.
That's like, I know I did that.
But the concept from the biblical principles of it, I see some things in that thing, walking on the spirit, man.
We got to start doing this. We got to start offering walking on water retreats.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it's all mental, that part, we were so indoctrinated.
It's all mental.
Yeah, we've been given some real psychological lies.
For Calvin, before we go, man, what do you say just one more time for the people that say, man, I don't believe in God?
Only thing it says, in life, you got to believe in something. And for me,
gotta believe.
And for me, I believe in a higher power.
Believe in a higher power.
So hopefully
so you heard, he didn't say God. He said there's a higher power.
Yeah.
That you don't have no understanding of it. He don't have one. She don't have one. But you got to embrace something.
Yeah.
This your host, Simon P. thank you once again, Anu Naku, for coming.
Brother, I appreciate it.
Give a shout out to my man Hansel on the backdrop back there, helping us try to look all CNN-ish. You know, foxes. Even though we trying to work to do it, but we trying to just keep it real.
I wanted to your bling.
My bling.
Yeah.
I'm gonna let Anu Naku describe the bling because I know she got a meaning to it, and she makes these.
What?
You got the drum.
Elaborate. You got the colors. Tell them what it means.
I put it on my brother because the drum, you know, the sound, and I knew that, you know, he was going to be hosting. And so I wanted you to wear it, you know, because you the drum.
And the beat goes on.
How you
And the beat goes on. Time to get loose.
Brother, I appreciated your energy.
Thank you so much. Please like, subscribe, share, holla. What's the name of that podcast name again?
Invisible Bridges. If you're interested in being a part of it, reach out to my brother.
I believe my sister just came up with that. She said it was coming.
Yeah.
That spirit thing be working. This summer P, I'm out.
Oh, please.
Queen.